Shabbat Shalom. Your girl is finally back, and in today's video we're going to be talking about biblical submission and why is it so important to cover your head. So Lord's willing that this video be very edifying to you. I pray that all my sisters are doing well. And so what we're going to be talking about is like I said, just submission, and just why is it important to submit? Why is it important for us women to cover our heads as Israelites? Why is it important to withhold yourself as a righteous woman? And so this video was basically inspired by me. I was in my bed earlier and I was reading, and I was like, dang, I don't have my hair covered on. But at the moment, I'm not thinking it's a big deal, but to the Most High, it's a big deal. And sometimes the Most High correct us in different ways, and sometimes it may be different for you. Maybe this video may be to help correct you as a sister to understand the importance of headship. But I didn't think nothing big of it. I'm like, it's okay. If I don't see it around, and I'm just going to read real quick, and it's okay. But to the Most High, it's a whole different other ball game. So we're going to be getting into that. Why is it important, and why we should cover our head, why we should be submissive, and why should we have a headship? Because in mixed society, it teaches us that we don't need to submit. We don't have to be submissive. We can do whatever we want to do. It's okay. Bad woman. I'm a bad B-word. I can do it all by myself. But it's all through prayer and fasting and allowing correction to be on you and to come near you for you to be able to change as a righteous woman. So we're going to go into 1 Corinthians chapter 11. So, as I was speaking about earlier, it's like I didn't think of nothing of it. And so a couple of hours later after that, I prayed, just a little prayer. And I was like, God, what you want me to read? And this is what he gave me. And I swear to you, I was like, hold up, am I being cut up? Am I being cut up? Because that's what it felt like. So I was like, okay, I need to make a video on this, because sometimes as sisters, we don't think that this is serious, that we have to cover our heads and we need to be submissive and we need to obey the Most High's commands. So yeah, we're gonna dive into it. So it says, now I praise you because you always remember and keep my traditions, just as I have delivered them unto you. But I want you to know that Christ is the head of every man, and that the man is the head of the woman, and God is the head of Christ. And every man who prays or prophesies with something on his head dishonors his head. But every woman who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head, since that is one in the same as having her head shaved. Y'all, that is just like having your whole head straight bomb to my butterball, put some oil up there. That's how the Most High looks at you when you are not honoring and covering your head, when you are praying and when you are prophesying as a woman. Okay, it says, so if a woman's head is not covered, her hair should be cut off. But if it is disgraceful for a woman to have her hair cut off or her head shaved, she should be covered. A man, in fact, should not cover his head, because he is in God's image and glory. But a woman is a man's glory. For a man did not come from woman, but a woman came from man. And a man was not created for a woman, but a woman for man. This is why a woman should have a symbol of authority on her head, because of the angels. And in the Lord, however, woman is not independent of man, and man is not independent of women, of a woman. For just as a woman came from man, so man comes through woman, and all things come from God. So, okay, let me go down a little bit more. And judge for ourselves. It is proper for a woman to pray to God with her head uncovered. Does not even the nature itself teach you that a man's long hair is a disgrace to him? But if a woman has long hair, it is her glory, for her hair is given to her as a covering. So to the Most High, if you don't, cover your head as you prophesy, or you praying, or not even just a head covering, you're shaving your head as a woman, because you want to have a low cut, what they call it, with the waves and all that, curly temple. The Most High created a woman to have long hair, and a man to have, decent, short, cut, you know what I'm saying? But for a woman, we are supposed to have our heads covered. So it is important for you to cover your head. You see, as me right now, I'm covering my head. You know, it doesn't take but 2 seconds to cover your head. It's nothing to complain about. It's nothing to get mad at the Most High about that you have to cover your head. Just submit. Submit is not weakness. And that's something I want to get into. Just because you are being submissive, either to the Most High, of course, and to your husband, it is not weakness. In this society, it teaches us that if a man tells a woman that she needs to change because her cleavage is showing, or because her behind area is out and her curves are showing, that's not weakness, and that's not a sense of control, because the Most High created the man to be teachable onto the woman so she can know right from wrong. Because when we don't have a headship, we know women, we are very emotional creatures, and we go off emotions and feelings, and what we feel is right and what we feel is wrong, and how we feel and how we think. But we don't understand that just like that, in a snap of a finger, just like how he did Eve in that garden, that Satan can have us just like that, because we are gullible and we are built off emotions and feelings as women. And that's just God-given truth. And it's, like I said, it's nothing to be offended about or intimidated about. It's just a role that we have to accept. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm still accepting it. The fact that I'm gonna have to be submissive and I have to have authority over me, because in the world, I'm so used to just my way, and what I want and how I feel, and I know, and I learn my body, and I know my ways, I know what makes me sad, I know what makes me happy, I know what makes me happy. But coming to humility, God loves when a person is humble and meek, because when you have humility, you're like, okay, I know I may feel this way, and I don't want to submit, and I don't want to do this and that, but I'm going to be humble and put down my ego and put down my pride and my emotions and my feelings and do the will of my Father. Because same way with Christ, he didn't get caught up in the cares of this life. He didn't get caught up in validation. He didn't get caught up in what man was saying. He didn't get caught up in the power that he had sent from heaven from his heavenly Father, but he was so concerned on his Father's will. And same way for women, we have to be not only caring about the Most High's will and what he tells us to do, but also if we do have that headship, our husband, we must be like, you know, babe, what do you want to eat today? You know, what should we eat today? Babe, should I go out with my sisters today? Is this okay? Is that okay? Instead of saying, oh, I'm going out today. I'm going with the sisters to brunch at 3 o'clock. No, ask, you know, because a man just, okay, like the Most High and a man is like the same, what, not the power of God, but I'm saying like their characteristics is what they want the same for us. A righteous man, of course, but he wants the best for you. It's the same way for the Most High. He wants the best for you. He wants to feel like how the Most High, he wants to feel wanted. He wants to feel loved. He wants to feel like you care about questioning him about, how can I do this? I need help with this, Most High. I need you to help me with this instead of me worrying. It's the same way with your husband. He just want to guide you in righteousness. He want to be able to help you as a provider, as a protector, because he has something in him that the Most High can only put in a man that he didn't put in a woman. So it's okay to submit. Like I said, it's not weakness. Is it something to work on? Yes. And I just want to tap into insecurity and doubt and like fear as a woman, like dealing with insecurity, dealing with doubt, dealing with fear as a woman, feeling fear of allowing a man to be able to finally provide for you, to take care of you, and say, hey, no, this is wrong, that's wrong, to be able to help you spiritually, mentally, and physically. Because if you have been a woman like me and been in the world and dealt with a lot of lustful men, a lot of bad men, a lot of men that will hurt you and abuse you, do things wrong, it's kind of hard to be like, okay, I have a righteous man, the Most High sent me a righteous man to guide me in righteousness, not in wrongness, not to lead me astray from the Most High, bring me to the Most High. It's like your pride and your ego is in the back of you, just like talking, because you're so used to like that protection mode. Like, I gotta protect myself, I gotta protect my feelings, I gotta protect my emotions, instead of allowing the Most High to be like, okay, I sent you this righteous man to help you to detect how to do this and how to do that, and I give it to him, and now you don't want to submit. You've been praying for a husband, but you don't know how to be a wife. You've been praying for a husband, but you don't like to submit. You like to tell him what to do instead of him telling you what to do. So you have to kind of take a step back and be able to examine to understand, first of all, what is your insecurities? Why do you feel like you can't submit? That's the borderline. You figure out why you don't want to submit or why you can't submit. That's the first step. So once you figure out, okay, this is why I don't want to submit, because I've been hurt before so many times, and I've been feeling like sometimes, some men, they take advantage of you, because if you are a woman that's very kind and, you keep yourself up very well, and then a man comes in and trying to destroy that, because either he may be jealous of you, or he may be insecure himself, and he wants to tear you down. But once you get a righteous man, you don't have to worry about all of that, and you have to wait until the Most High gives you somebody that is going to be righteous. Don't ever try to do things out of your will, because not all men are bad. Okay, I know. You may experience a lot of stuff, and you want to give up, and you want to give up on love, but don't give up on love just because a certain man treated you a certain way. Because the Most High will give you a righteous man, but first you have to work on yourself and understand your insecurities and understand your roles as a biblical wife. That way, when the Most High give you somebody, you know how to be a righteous wife, not a nagging wife, but a righteous wife. And I want to go into the Apocrypha really quick and get Sirach 25. I think maybe it's 26. But okay, here it goes. 26:23 says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feared the Lord. So when you are, like I said, you working on yourself, you're like, hey, like, I'm so focused on keeping the Most High's commandments, and you're doing yourself as a role as a daughter of Zion unto the Most High. He's going to give you a righteous man, but you have to wait and you have to work on yourself, because everything is the Most High's timing. And even in this truth, I remember times where I was trying to do things out of my own will with men, and talk to even men in the truth. Okay, maybe one day, Lord's willing, I can probably get into that story. I don't really like talking about it, because I moved past that story, and it is what it is. And sometimes the Most High allow people to come in your life for lessons, but I think I do want to talk about it eventually, just so I can help sisters too, because that's my role, to be a help me to not only just a husband or a friend, like to my sisters, so I have to be that help me. I think I probably will tell that kind of story, because I just want women to understand to be careful, and to understand that if the Most High is giving you a man, it won't be unpeaceful. Y'all will always be at peace with each other. You will just know, you know what I mean? Don't ever try to do things out of your own will, because your feelings and emotions, you're lonely, you want somebody to text, you want somebody to call. No, it's deeper than that. Like, life is spiritual. You want a man that's going to pray with you, read the Bible with you, that's going to, hey babe, no, this is wrong. Like, you've been gossiping lately, you've been talking out the mouth lately, you've been a little bit disrespectful. But we're going to go over a lesson, and we're going to go and examine scriptures on how to get yourself back together correctly. You want that kind of man. You're not gonna want no man that's gonna be like, man, get out my face, you've been having those. No, he's gonna be willing to correct you. Like, okay, I know that you went through this. I know that you went through that. I know that you've been used to being the man in a relationship. But I am here as a man to show you that that's not how you're supposed to live. And I'm going to show you that you can trust me. I'm going to show you that this is not how a woman should live. And once you let your guard down, it feels like a whole 500-pound weight just lifted off of you. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about. It's about, like, figuring out why am I so insecure? Like, and how can I heal from this? How can I let this go? Because if you don't, the Most High is not going to be able to give you a man that's righteous and actually want to do right with you. It's not trying to be with you because of lust, because of your body, and because of how you talk, you sound cute. No, he wants to be with you because he understands that you need a provider, you need a protector, and you need somebody that's going to guide you right from wrong. And yes, he can see the beauty. Don't get me wrong, he should be attracted to you. You know what I mean? But you don't want a man that's only in for it because you got a big booty and you got big tits. No. You want to look for a man that wants to be with you because he wants to help you get to the kingdom. Y'all ultimate goal is to get to the kingdom. It should be to get to the kingdom. So I just want to touch on that, just figuring out your insecurities. Why do you feel like you can't submit? And then practice submission. Read books on how to become a biblical woman, how to be a biblical wife, how to love one another, how to be a helpmeet. And this book right here, which I'm going to get into, is called Virtuous, and it's by Nancy Wilson. And it's just about how to become a virtuous woman. And something I want to touch on is idle time. So idleness. So the Most High doesn't desire for a woman to be idle. And the reason why I want to touch into this really quick is because it's kind of touching into why is it so important for a woman to have headship. Why did the Most High desire for a woman to be married, to be put away? Because if you have too much time on your hands, the Most High can literally play with you, play with your mind, play with your feelings, play with your emotions, attack you through men that's no good for you. That's why he desired for you to be married to a righteous man, to have kids. Don't let this society, another thing is, the Most High actually desires for a woman to marry early. That's biblical, but in righteousness. I'm not saying just gonna have a baby just because. No, the Most High desires a woman to be put up and married, taking care of her household, taking care of her husband, and taking care of her children, being a helpmeet, being a teachable sister. He desires that for you because he knows how Satan is. It's the same thing. It's nothing new under the sun. Just like with Eve. We gotta look at ourselves and be like, Satan can deceive us just like Eve. If you think he can't deceive you like Eve, alright, so we're gonna get into idleness. Idleness is always a danger, and this isn't given to a woman. You won't catch her zoned out on her computer or a smartphone, spending hours on social media. She has too much to do. The Bible has a particular warning for women who are time wasters. For of this sort are those who creep into household and make captives of gullible women, loaded down with sins, led by various lusts, always learning, but never willing to come to the knowledge of truth. These women are vulnerable because they have the burden of guilty consciousness and are easily led astray. They are physically lazy, intellectually lazy, so they always are an easy prey for false teachers. So when you are, you just scrolling out, I'm guilty too, this too. You know what I mean? Like, you be on your phone, be like, okay, I done read the Bible, stuff like that. But you gotta find, like, hobbies and righteousness on what to do. Maybe learn how to sew, learn how to paint, learn how to draw. Like, I'm trying to teach myself that as well, because I can catch myself laying down all day. Go for a walk. Ask some questions from my husband, like, babe, like, what do you desire from me? Like, what do you want me to do? Is it something I can plan for us? Is it something I can make for you? Like, find something, because the idle time is the devil's playground, right? So it says, but refuse the younger widows, for when they have begun to grow wanton against Christ, they desire to marry, having condemnation, because they have cast off their first faith, and besides, they learn to be idle, wandering about house to house, and not only idle, but gossip, busybodies, saying things they ought not to say. Therefore, I desire for the younger widows to marry, bear children, and manage the house, give no opportunity to the adversary to speak reproachfully, for some have already turned to the side of Satan. So, like it says right here, it says, therefore I desire for younger widows to marry, bear children, and manage the house. He desired for a woman to be the manager of her household, meaning like she cooks, she cleans, she's setting peace between her husband and her children. She's making sure that her kids are being taught. And, if you can, Lord's willing, teach your kids at home and homeschool them, and being that help me, being that pillar of rest. So I'm going to go to the next page, but it says, God cares for idleness is for young women to be married, children, and home management. And he gives them something profoundly important to do, requires long-term diligence. Not only does God hate laziness, but he blesses the diligent. So the Lord loves when you're diligent, you're getting up, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're not being lazy. You're not like, I don't feel like doing this today. My husband gave me an attitude. Why should I do this? Why should I do that? It's not even about that. It's about what is the Most High telling you to do. And something I want to speak about before I forget it, y'all, is we're gonna be going into Titus 2 really quick. I feel like I love that one. But you're not only submitting to your husband, but you're also submitting to the Most High. So when you submit to your husband, you letting the Most High know that I obey you, and I obey your voice and your words, and I'm going to submit to my husband because I know that's something that you call for the willing of my life. It's not about pridefulness. It's not because your husband, maybe he didn't give you a hug this morning before he went to work, but maybe he was thinking about, man, I'm so tired, and he forgot. Like he's thinking about, you know, having to go to work and deal with people's emotions, deal with people's feelings. But you took it so hard. You're like, he probably seen some other woman. Like he probably kissing on somebody else. He probably just seen somebody else, and he feel like he too good to hug me because my perfume might linger on him or something. Just making up excuses. You just letting the devil just play with your mind and tell you he's cheating on you. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's out doing things that he don't got no business. But really, he's trying to figure out how to provide for you. He's trying to figure out how to keep his job because he's tired of dealing with people's emotional feelings. But he knows he need to protect and provide for his family. Alright, so we're gonna go into Titus 2 and 2. Okay, it says, let me find it. Okay, it says, chapter 2, verse 3, it says, in the same way, older women are to be variant in behavior, not slanderers, not addicted to too much wine. They are to teach what is good, so they have to encourage young women to love their husbands and to love their children, and to be self-controlled, pure, homemakers, kind, submissive to their husbands, so that God's message will not be slandered. You don't want to play with the Most High. Okay, not only are we a representation to the Most High, to our husbands, we're a representation of the Most High. So when we're out in this world, we're supposed to be the light. And when we're not being the light and we're catching ourselves like lately, you know, I've been gossiping bad lately. My mouth's been horrible lately. Like I've been saying things that I'm not supposed to say. And I felt like part of it was me having too much time at my job a little bit. Like, I feel like, yeah, when we get done and we start gossiping, it's like, dang, I really need to self-reflect and be like, okay, I have to be a light. You know, whether this is funny or not, but to the Most High, he hates it. You know, matter of fact, I'm going to give you precept he told me. And he was like, you know, read Proverbs 6 because it tells you, you know, about what the Most High he hates. And like I was like, yeah, like it's not even about fearing the, you know, like I was telling him, like I said, it may be funny to somebody else when you cracking jokes and you're gossiping about other people, but the Most High is looking at you. It may be funny to them, but the Most High, he's looking like, okay, she gossiping, she talking about other people. All right, she know that's not the will of me. She knows she's supposed to be representing me as her father, but instead she's going with the flow. She's talking about other people. She's doing stuff she's not supposed to do. You gotta fear the Most High judgment, not man's, because we're gonna get into it. I got another precept in Matthew. I think it's 10, 11, 12. I want to say. All right, so it says, what the Lord hates, what he hates. So this is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16 down to 19. It says, the Lord hates 6 things. In fact, they are detestable to him: arrogant eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that plots wicked schemes, feet eager to do evil, a lying witness who gives false testimony, and the one who stirs up trouble among brothers. So gossiping, doing all of that, baby, what you say? The Most High is not dealing with that. All right, so we're gonna go to Matthew. I want to say it is like 10. Like I feel like it is. We're gonna see. Alright, there we go. Look, I flipped on it too. It says, Matthew 10, this is verse 26. It says, therefore, don't be afraid of them, since nothing is covered that won't be uncovered, nothing hidden that won't be made known. And what I tell you in the dark is going to come to the light, and what you hear and whisper and proclaim on the housetops. Do not fear those who kill off the body, are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him that is able to destroy both the body and the soul into hell. Aren't you? We're not going to read this. But basically, a person can shoot you right now. They can kill off your flesh, but they can't kill your body and your soul. So fear him. Because not only that is he going to do that, but he's going to judge you for according to all your deeds. Every man's deed on earth is going to be judged. So fear him. I think I'm going to get another precept in too. I want to say it's in Sirach, Wisdom of Solomon. I want to say it is in Sirach. Let's find it because I did highlight it. Okay, yes. It is literally nothing like finding a precept that you've been thinking about. Alright, so this is Sirach 23, verse 19 says, such a man that only feareth the eyes of men and knoweth not the eyes of the Lord are 10 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So you are fearing the Most High. I mean, you're fearing most man's judgment than the Most High, but you gotta understand, baby. Have you ever tried to look at the sun? Do you know how bright that is? Bright. I'm talking about burning the eyes bright. So if you can't look at the sun, and the Most High's eyes brighter than that, you can't be intensified fearing man's judgment about your sins according to your sins, because the Most High is going to judge you of your sins and send you where you need to go. Okay? So we must self-examine. Alright? Alright. Another book I want to put my sisters on is this book called Praying Woman by Stormy Orphan. Just read it. This book is really good. A praying woman. They also have a praying wife and a praying mother one. So if you are a wife, you can probably get that one. If you're not, you can still learn. That's what it's about. It's about learning how to become a wife. You know what I mean? Because especially like for me, I don't have family in the truth. So when I came out of the world and I learned the truth and I understand who I was, I didn't have that, that mother to be like, it's okay to be submissive. Submit. Do this. Do that. Don't be insecure. Da, da, da. You don't have that. And sometimes you may need that extra help. First of all, yes, go to the Bible. I'm going to go into some precepts in Sirach. And I'm going to, be showing my sisters some things that you can read about how to become a wife. Because sometimes you may not know, but some of the things that I already spoke about, you can reflect on Most High's woman. But for the most part, if you don't know how to become a wife, it's okay to learn how to become a wife. Like I said, that book, Virtuous, is very good. Down. That book I just showed you, very good. Down. And these precepts I'm going to give you is very good. Down. Do your research, find out how to become a wife. Watch videos on sisters that talk about how to become a wife. What does it mean to be submissive? What does it mean to be a helpmate? Because we have to learn all over again. We have to become like babes. That's the first Peter. Y'all, love a good precept. Alright, I think that's the first. But we have to learn how to become babes in this truth. And not weak and like, dang, I don't know that. So, dang, but this sister is so mighty. This brother is so mighty. They know everything. It's okay. You gotta learn. You gotta become like a babe. You gotta become like a babe in the truth and learn all over again, and not being scared to learn all over again. Alright, so this is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. It says, so rid yourself of malice, all deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and slander, and like newborn infants, desire the spiritual milk, so that you may grow by your salvation, since you have tasted and see that the Lord is good. So, it's okay to learn all over again. We may desire the meat, but we may need the milk, and, I've been eating the milk, so what? It's all about learning. It's about trying in this truth. It's not about trying to become mighty or seen by this brother or sister. It's about, are you doing the righteous acts for the Lord? Because at the end of the day, that's our creator. He's the creator. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so you just want to make sure that you are figuring out your insecurities and why you're insecure, and then, okay, desiring that milk from the Most High. Like, hey, like, I've been through this with men, and I've been, someone, unfortunately, they may have been raped, and they don't want to do with men, or they've been up and through there, and hurt so much, and they don't want to do it with men. But hey, Most High, like, I know I've been going through so much, and I've been dealing with this and this and X, Y, and Z, but I need you to help me to put down my ego and help me to understand that I need a man. Don't try to be that woman that I can do better by myself like the movie, and I'm gonna be a single mother. Ain't nobody, my mama taught me I don't need nothing from no nigga, and I don't need this, and I don't need, no. You're not gonna find a man saying that, because Satan hears that. He's like, okay, she said she ain't gonna find nobody, so now I have the authority to do what I'm supposed to do. Just like the story of Job. Satan had to get authority. Had to get some, what is it called? He had to get, permission, that's what it is. He had to get permission to do what he was going to do. So you keep doing this, that mouth is going to get you in trouble. You gotta be quiet. Say, I am going to get a righteous man one day. I am going to work on myself. You know, the Most High sees that. He's going to give you a righteous man. Don't be sad because you don't have that man right now. Pray about it. Like, and focus on how to become a wife, because it's nothing more than having this time to learn how to become a wife. And then they say, you know, you got a righteous man. Because you don't want to be, and you don't want to get married, and then you don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to learn, but it's way better if you don't fill your cup up, and you know how not to be deceived by men, like I said before. In the beginning, I do want to talk about that. But once you learn the Bible by yourself, and you understand right from wrong, you gonna know who was sent by the enemy and who was sent by the Most High. So now we're gonna go into Sirach 25. Salakia. It is 26. Okay. So it says, blessed is a man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. So you just being submissive, girl. You just being righteous. You like, babe, like, what do you need? Like, I got you. Like, yeah, like, you're doubling his days. So what is you saying? Okay, so a virtuous woman rejoices for her husband, and he shall find fulfillment of the years of his life in peace. A good woman is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. Okay, no, so let's not go into it. I want to go up a little bit more. I think that's, 25, 22 down. Says, a woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much of reproach. So sometimes as a woman, like, if you don't fill your cup up, and you don't pray about what you're going through, or you don't talk to your husband about what you're going through, sometimes managing your husband can be a lot, because you're like, dang, like, I'm going through it. I'm not being a sister I'm supposed to be. You gotta get yourself together, so that way you don't, he finna get out, I gotta go cook dinner. Dang, I'm so tired of this. I'm tired of cooking a meal for him, lunch, breakfast, and dinner. Like, I'm tired of this. No, like, you that's why you gotta fill up your cup. You gotta fill up your cup first. Alright? A wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh an heavy countenance, and a wound of mind, a woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, maketh weak hands and feeble knees. How is he going to provide for you, sis, if you keep on tearing down your husband and telling him he's nothing? Oh, he needs to go get a higher paying job. You can barely afford anything. It's like, no, babe, this is how you do it. You be like, babe, like, I know, you know, you've been going through a lot, and you've been managing me and the kids, but I just want to let you know I'm here for you, and if you want me to help you to find a higher paying job, I'm willing to. But right now, I feel like we got everything we need. We got the Most High. Even though we may not got a fridge full of groceries, but we have, you know, a couple sandwiches to make, or, you know, we can cut up some fruit. It's okay, you know. Maybe I can ask my family for some money. I think they will understand. Or it's okay as a man to ask, you know, your family members, or maybe some brothers for some money. Don't feel weak, because I know that you're a king and you're going to be able to make it. And with the Most High, if we obey his commandments and we keep his laws and we keep his statutes, we're going to be okay, babe. I promise you. You don't have to stress about it. Be his full of rest. Because if you're going to be like, girl, next thing you're on the phone with the sister. Girl, yeah. I'm so tired of Daquan. You know, he ain't, girl, he barely trying to work. He say he depressed. I don't know. He's talking about he don't want to pick up shifts, and he tired of doing this, and he can't find a higher paying job, and he just want to sit on his pile all day. Girl, I'm tired of this. I'm trying to get me some more hair wraps. I'm trying to get me some more dresses. I'm trying to get me some more sneakers, some Nikes, some Jordans. Like, girl. And then, you know, my kids, you know, my daughter, she need a little bit more dresses, because, you know, she's coming out of her teeth, not on teeth, but, you know, she's getting up there, have her months, and we need bigger clothes for her. And I'm like, I'm tired of this. Like, and then he expect me to make lunch, dinner, and breakfast, and then he come home and he can barely provide for us. Girl, the Most High is literally looking at you and seeing the portion that you giving your husband, and he can literally take him from you. Now he can take him from you. He can take that good man from you and give it to a whole nother wife, all because you are ungrateful and you are babbling about the smallest things, when you can be like, I'm here for you. Maybe it's okay for a woman to work, don't get me wrong, it's okay for her to work, but the Most High desires for a woman to stay home. But if you know y'all struggling, be like, you know, let me step in as a wife and find a job. Maybe if it's a part-time, a little bit of time, it doesn't matter. Like, you're being that pillar of rest, you're being that help me, be a help me, you know what I mean? It's not all about leaning all the way on your husband. You know, get up as a sister and be like, let me help my husband because he's struggling. That's what we're here for. We're help me. If you look up, why does it say that the woman was made for man, not the man for woman? It's because a woman is made to be a helpmeet, to uplift, to support her husband, you know. So but with that, I just want to say that I yield, you guys, and, you know, Lord is willing that this video was edifying, and I pray that you sisters can like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to send this to another sister, well, be it, because we all learning in this truth, and we're desiring this milk in these times, because it's okay to learn all over again, especially after being hurt and being in the world for so many years, dealing with bad men and dealing with trauma. It can be, but being in submission is not weak. I just want to say that first and foremost before in this video. Being submissive is not weak. It's not a sense of control. It's righteousness in the Most High's eyes, and that's something that we should desire our husband. We were made. He said that we were going to desire our husbands. Like, it's just our part, our role. Like, it can't be like, you know. So we just have to desire our husbands and want what he wants. Ask, like, you know, babe, what do you want me to do? What restaurant do you want to go to? Freakwater, I want to. What restaurant? I've been wanting some mac and cheese and potatoes and steak. But you saying that you want some waffles and some turkey bacon and some eggs and some orange juice for dinner. But I don't want that. But I'm going to let you choose, because you my husband. I want to be that pillar of rest, and I desire your needs more than I desire mine. That's how we do it. And with that, I just want to say, like, I yield, and like for part 2, let me know how you females feel in the comments. What are some things are you working on, or what are some questions that you have, or what are some things that you do to become a righteous wife, become submissive, and things like that. And speaking of head covering, I think I want to start, you know, doing some more videos on head coverings, because people loved when I did that video. So, you know, since I am talking about the importance of covering your head, I think I'm going to do some styles and some stuff like that for my sisters that may not know how to cover their heads. Like I say, if you in this truth and you don't have family in the truth, and you don't know how to cover your head, you don't know how to do cute styles, it's okay. I got you. No, I got you, okay? With that, I want to say Shabbat Shalom. You know, if this video do pop up on Shabbat, but I pray that you guys have a blessed Shabbat, and before I start talking more, have a blessed day, and Lord's willing, I'll be back. Also, in the comments, let me know some videos that you guys would like to see, because I want to work on that. So, that, I just want to say Shabbat Shalom, and